Things always look different at night. Whether due to the shadows that play with one's mind or how our imaginations often run wild with different ideas, there is always that undeniable feeling that there is something out there, watching from the shadows. What does one do when confronted with this feeling, this fear? Most run, some freeze. However, a few select times, you have a bunch of people gather into a large van to go investigate what's watching them in the night. Episode 8, Night Watch. Hello, Echo. How are we this evening?
I ain't dead yet. Figuratively speaking.
About to say. It has been a very productive night for you. You have gone from confronting one of your ghoul's parents, finding out that, yes, one of them, at the very least, has been drugging your ghoul for almost a decade with anti-hallucinogenics, I should say. Ghouled that parent, modified the memory of the other parent, brought back that parent as a ghoul, stole a dog, found out that one of your friends is still being stalked and is trying to play it low-key, and now you're on your way to the airport to find out the location of where the photo was taken. You are currently in... Basically, it's the Mystery Machine, even though we can't call it that for copyright reasons. Charlie behind the wheel. Ro is just swaying back and forth, listening to the music that's on the radio. What are you doing?
Staring out the window at the moment. Just kind of watching the city pass by.
Okay.
Haven't really had just time to chill tonight, so I'm taking advantage of it.
Those few quiet moments are often far and in between these last few nights, you find. You get about 5 minutes of this calm when your phone starts to vibrate in your pocket.
And Echo will take out the phone and look at the caller ID.
Actually, it's not a caller ID. It is Twitter notifications.
Echo will scroll the Twitter notifications then.
Since you are a reporter, one of the things that you do have on a following is the hashtag breaking news. And you see that one of them is an update on the missing girl who had gone missing the night before, Miss Macy Valor. She has been found. Well, more accurately, her body was found. You see a photo of the reporter standing outside of a rather dingy-looking hotel. Well, motel. On a not-so-good part of town. Speaking about how Macy had been found in one of the motel rooms. Passed away, most likely of drug overdose. Can you roll me a Wits plus Awareness, please?
Indeed. Alright. This is great. Wits, 3. Awareness, 3. 3 of those dice get replaced by hunger dice. Hang on a second.
Hanging.
Did I feed at the end of last episode?
I will remind you that you did technically feed on then Bundy. So I do believe you should have 2 hunger, not 3.
Did I feed off
That
of
was 2.
candy, though?
Oh, yes. Yes, you did feed off of candy, so you should be down to
1.
1 hunger, I believe.
So 2 of those dice get put back. Bring out 2 of my regular dice. Two successes.
That is just enough. As you're looking through the feed, you see a few of the other reporters have picked up the story. And as you're looking at one of the photos, trying to see if you can see the name of the motel, you see it's the Knight's Inn, which you vaguely know is one of the dingiest motels in the city. It literally has less than 2 stars. But that's not what catches your eye. What catches your eye is in the background of the photo and speaking to a police officer, most likely getting a statement or a quote. You recognize that jacket, and you recognize one Jeremy Cortez seemingly doing an interview.
Well, make note of that, and I guess see what kind of other information you know what? I'm gonna flip over to Buzz Bulletin's Twitter feed.
Okay.
And I'm going to see if they've mentioned anything about the incident.
With Macy or the bite?
Macy.
You do see that roughly 15 minutes ago, the Buzz Bulletin did retweet something from Jeremy's professional Twitter, which basically has the phrase, information found about Macy Valor, more information to come. And when you click on it to see the original tweet, you do see some hashtags of like, don't do drugs, kids. This is from Jeremy's own professional one. Don't do drugs. Bad side of town. Yada, yada, yada. On the Buzz Bulletin, though, they do have on the top of it, where the retweet had happened, was, our thoughts and prayers go out to the family of Macy Valor. Please respect their privacy in this time.
And I'm going to start flipping through news articles to see what was given as proof for the suspected drug overdose.
You see that there has been a few people from an inside source stating that there was hardcore drugs found around Macy, as well as a syringe supposedly still in her arm. And apparently there have been reports of eyewitnesses saying that Macy was seen speaking with known drug dealers. However, at this point in time, that the identities of those individuals cannot be released due to the ongoing investigation.
But no one has concrete proof.
The suspicion is currently that it was a drug overdose, since the bot, from what you've seen in the... Actually, roll me a wits technology roll.
Crap. And technology. One of those gets replaced by a hunger dice. Three.
It takes quite a bit of digging, and you only find it as Charlie pulls up to the pickup locations outside the airport that it takes you a solid 20 minutes, much longer than it normally would, to sift through not only like tabloids that have recently picked it up, so your feed's getting filled with those informations, which you know you can't always trust that information, that you find that at this time an autopsy has not been done, but due to the location and various things, it does look like it is a drug overdose. Although no information has been found to be concrete yet, they are waiting on the autopsy report. But due to multiple theories as well as evidence that is found, including the fact that she does seem to have the obvious signs of a drug overdose and that the needle was found still in her arm and no signs of a struggle, it is believed that it was a drug overdose.
But nobody saw anybody put the needle in her arm. Just because the needle's in her arm doesn't mean she put it there. Or injected the drugs into her own system. I'll file that away for later. Something to look into.
Ro turns around in her seat. What's got you all quiet?
Have you ever heard of this Macy Valor?
Alright, Ro, what is your awareness? Let's see how aware you are of your surroundings, big girl. Ro pauses for a moment, gently tapping her chin. Wait! Yes, I've heard of her. She was all over the news. Some sorority girl that went missing the other night?
Yeah, they found her. Well, what's left of her.
Oh, poor girl.
What do you know about her?
About her?
Other than the fact she was a sorority girl.
I mean, I never met her personally. She looks over at Charlie, who... Charlie, my boy, you are a bit better with technology and listening to these types of things, because Ro doesn't hyperfixate on news. Damn, okay. Charlie pipes up. She attends one of the higher-end universities, don't remember which one. She's a part of a upstanding sorority. She did volunteer work, was a party girl, daddy's money type situation. Rose just like slowly looks at him as he's just like continuing to spout out this information. He pauses, looks over. What? I have an interest in missing persons reports. I think they're cool. But yeah, a basic party girl, did volunteer work at like animal shelters. I think there was some mention of like an old age home. And if I recall correctly, I think I saw something that she was once arrested for a DUI.
Well, apparently they found her with a needle in her arm.
Makes sense. I think that's what it was last time. Though, mind you, this was like third-hand information. Who'd you hear this from? Where do I get most of our information? Ah, Reggie.
Anyways, it's more just... It's been a while since I've just been able to, like, chill for a moment, you know? Feels like it's been go, go, go the last few nights.
Yeah, that's typically what happens when you're first embraced. God, my first month? I was basically just running around or glued to a desk, studying, learning. It was a lot. Fun, but a lot. I don't think I got to relax until 6 months in? Mind you, this was a very different time, and me and my sire had to move around a bit due to, that was my fault a bit.
Finish your thought.
She lets out a long sigh. So you know my problem?
Yes.
1 second as I quickly look up. And I was embraced in the early 1900s.
Yes. We've talked about this.
Blood bags weren't invented until the 1950s.
Yeah.
I still had to eat.
Yup.
And unfortunately, until recently, I haven't been able to pull myself off. So sometimes, when it got really bad, we would try to find people who deserved it, or the odd time they didn't, and then we would have to move before the heat got on us.
You know, as one does. Well, anyways, like I said, they found her at a fairly seedy motel, apparently. Autopsies in the works. We should have that hopefully in a day or two.
I mean, that's if they release the information. They don't have to do that unless they say, undetermined circumstances, or, ongoing investigation, or if it was I was just surprised they're mentioning it, because, I mean, it's not the first time someone's died of drug overdoses.
Yeah, but if she's also well known, that could play a part into it too. The point is, it's on my radar, and I plan to look into it at some point. And I have there's ways I can get information. We have more pressing matters at the moment.
Yes, you do. You do see that as soon as I get this image in. There is an image of Macy Valor, or at least the last image taken of her. Or it could even just be a nice photo the family has, as I put it into the side chat. Beautiful girl, long, dark hair, pretty face, hazel brown eyes, this just gentle smile on her face. It's actually a tweet from, it looks to be maybe a cousin or a fellow sorority sister, that says, "Our thoughts and prayers are with the family. Please leave them to process in this time." And there's actually a GoFundMe link for the charity that Macy often volunteered at, which appears to be a local animal shelter.
I'm going to click through to the GoFundMe for a second. Take a look at the listings for that.
Okay.
Take a look specifically at the comments section.
Well, so since they only just recently found Macy, there's not a lot. There's less than 200 in the GoFundMe. Most of it seems to be $10 pitched in from her sorority sisters. All of them have comments of, "We miss you, Macy. Such a good girl. Can't believe she's gone." There is one that says, that donated $1 and said, "Wow, looks can be deceiving." And then that person gets attacked in the comments for being a fucking troll.
Are there any other comments from this person, in response to, I guess, the being attacked? Has this person spoken up anywhere else in the comments section?
Doesn't look like, but this was also just done like 10 minutes ago, so...
I'm gonna click back to the previous tweet. I'm actually gonna go looking for social media of anyone associated with the sorority.
There is actually a sorority page, as I quickly look up. The sorority is Delta Nu. You don't know if that's a reference or if it's actually a sorority house. They currently have a "we are not answering questions at this time. Please give us this moment to grieve." And they have on their feed a little memorial with a slideshow of Macy doing different things, including like there is a pictures of her at the animal shelter walking dogs. There's pictures of her with the sorority sisters doing car washes and stuff. There's actually really cute candid shots of them making breakfast together. Is there anything you're looking for in particular?
Comments that seem out of place.
It does appear at this time the page has actually turned off the comments for the time being.
Interesting. I'll put a pin in that, and I will focus right now on the airport then.
All right, you guys are currently outside of the airport. You are in that little area where taxi drivers, the hotel shuttles, all that usually come by to pick up people. It is pretty dead right now since it is roughly 3 o'clock in the morning, give or take. You see some security guards just walking back and forth, chatting. Seems to be pretty dead. It's the middle of the week and there aren't a lot of flights that usually get boarded or land this time of night usually, so.
I'm gonna take a look at the photo that's in the packet, specifically the one of Roe. I'm assuming the plane's on the tarmac, yeah?
Actually, this isn't taken on the tarmac. It is taken roughly in the area you are at. Charlie seems to have tried to park as close as possible to the area.
Take a look around. See if I can, like, find the exact spot where the photographer was.
Wits investigation, please. Yes, Myriad Delta Nu. Oh, damn. Yeah, really easy. You peek your head out of the window. Charlie had parked the van and had put on the hazard lights, pretending to be waiting for someone. Just gives a wave to the security guards, who just give him a wave back, look at him, don't question it too much since he doesn't seem to be wanting to wait there too long. You look down and you do see about 20-ish feet away, there is a pillar where you believe perhaps... Well, actually, no, since you rolled that high, you know without a shadow of doubt that is roughly where the photo was taken.
I go over and take a look around the pillar.
You look around. Since this had been taken roughly a week ago, it looks like it has been freshly swept. Especially this time of year with all of the disgusting sand that is on the floor, on the ground. Don't really see anything of note.
And I will look back at Ro.
She hops out of the car, still smiling as she skips over to you. You want me to do the thing?
Please.
Okay. Ro, you gotta do... Alright, Ro, you have to do 2. You passed both your hunger checks. Good job, baby girl. She takes a deep breath, carefully takes out one of her things, pretends to yawn as she downs the potion bottle before pushing the now empty bottle down her cleavage. Places her hand on your shoulder, and a similar scene happens as it had done outside of the Seraphine establishment, where time seems to pause. Colors become slightly muted as you watch that similar effect of almost like you were rewinding a VHS tape. Time slowly rewinds, and then it gets faster and faster and faster until all of a sudden, to the point where it almost causes you whiplash, it stops. And you see as a familiar van pulls up with Ro on the sidewalk, about 20 feet down, just hopping on her feet, humming softly. She has a large bag and a rolling suitcase similar to the one she had in the photo. She also seems to have what looks to be a very nicely made poncho over her shoulders. Looks like it was handmade, very soft. And she's waiting for Charlie to pull up with the van, which you see slowly pulls up.
I'm gonna look around for the photographer.
Well, it's not too hard to do that since you are standing literally in the spot, and you actually almost have to take a few steps back to look. You see not the homeless man that you saw from before. This person is much younger. If you had to guess, she looks to be maybe in her mid to late teens. Short blonde hair that's mostly hidden under a beanie. Her clothes look very worn, except for a knitted sweater that she's wearing that's in an ombre of fall colors. Her jeans are partially ripped. She has a worn-out backpack down by her side, and she is holding the exact same camera you saw from before, and she is looking down, mumbles something softly to herself before she rather expertly takes the camera up, lines up the shot, takes several photos.
What did she
She
say?
has almost wits plus awareness, because she is mumbling very softly, almost afraid to get caught.
Three.
She is mumbling softly, but you catch the phrases: red hair, pale skin, freckles, black bag. Yep, that's her. And she starts to take a few photos. She has a almost guilty look on her face. She just mutters, sorry, as she's taking these photos as Ro gets into the van. And once Ro's in the van and drives off, she still has that guilty look on her face as she looks down at the camera, sighs, and picks up her bag and makes a move to leave.
I'm going to burn her face into my memory.
All right.
Or at least try to.
As you burn... What kind of roll would that be? To burn, would this be a wits awareness? Would this be a... Actually, I'm going to make this a resolve awareness roll for you.
Okay. It's an interesting combination, not one that we've had before.
Well, you have to resolve to want to keep this image in your head.
So that's 4 successes plus 2 for a total of 6 critical success.
All right. You look at this girl. You memorize everything about her, from her height to the length of her hair, the very soft brown eyes that she has, the fact that she honestly looks like she's a bit down on her luck, just trying to get by. Her jeans look like she haven't been washed. The newest thing about her actually looks to be the sweater that she's wearing that looks to be hand knitted almost. And this is an image of the person you see. Just before you can watch where this young person seems to be going, you hear a voice call out, "Can we help you?" And Ro jerks, lets go of your wrist, looks over, and the image instantly shatters. And beside you, you see one of the security officers looking at you two like, "You two good?"
We are fine, but
Yes.
we're fine, but thank you.
Okay. There reason you two are just hanging out here? We are looking for someone. He raises a brow. Okay. Friend coming off the plane?
Actually, I was wondering if we could talk to you for a second. Just Echo starts like... if Ro's watching, she'd see Echo just kind of stand up for a moment, kind of tug the jacket. I was wondering if we could talk to you for a sec. You seem like you know this area pretty well. You know the goings-on around here.
I'm gonna be honest, not really. I started, like, last week.
Last week? So who did who watched out over this area before you?
Well, the person I replaced was on leave, so he looks over to his partner. "Hey, wasn't it, like, Henderson?" "Yeah, it was Henderson." "They in today?" "Yep. You know them."
Can we talk to Henderson?
I'm not sure you want to do that.
Why not?
The other guard just seems to chuckle and, like, phones on the radio, like, "Henderson, we need you by gate E for a minute." You hear a muffled, "Confirmed." And the other guard's just like, "You'll see. They'll be here in a second." And it takes about 5 minutes before you see the doors to gate E open, and out hobbles up an elderly woman. Her hair is done up in a tight bun. She looks to be maybe in her mid-60s. She walks over, is too happy, too smiley to be here this early in the morning. Just all grinning like, "How are you? I'm Ruth. How can I help you?"
Henderson?
And you see on her badge, on her badge, you see the name tag, R. Henderson.
Ah. Thanks for
And
coming.
In this side chat, you will see a picture of Ruth Henderson.
How long you been working here for, Henderson?
Oh, I've been working. Oh, geez. I started working here when I was in my early 20s to help my husband, so 45 years.
You know this area pretty well, yeah?
Pretty well. I've been working the night shift about 20 years now.
How long ago was the photo taken?
It was taken about last week.
Were you working, last week at all?
Last week on Thursday?
So I'm looking to track down someone who was here, last week. And I'm gonna describe the person that I saw for the guards. Do you know who they are?
Ruth has a very thoughtful look on her face, thinking it over. What exactly do you mention about this person?
Generic description, but enough that if they know who this individual is, they'd probably be able to recognize the description. Like, no actual defining details, but...
So no defining details. All right. Ruth pauses, thinking it over. Oh, gee, I don't think I've seen anyone that young hanging around here, especially not... What time was this at? Ro pipes up. It would have been around, like, 5 a.m.-ish? Oh, that's why. I have a shift change, then.
Can we take a look at your security cameras?
I'm sorry, you can't do that without a court order, without knowing what this is about. Ro pipes up. We're just trying to find her. We have some questions. She had such a... Ro is floundering for a moment as she says, she had such a lovely sweater. Ruth raises an eyebrow. A sweater?
She's a person of interest in a case I'm working on. Surely you can respect that.
Listen, I could get in a lot of trouble for showing security
And nobody
image to people who don't have court order.
And nobody will know I was here. I keep my sources confidential.
Charisma persuasion check.
Charisma is... Oops!
Oops.
Oops! So,
Why oops?
because I have 5 dice to roll, 4 of those are successes, 2 of those are 10s, and 1 of those is a hunger dice. So that's 6 successes.
So how many in total?
6 successes with a messy critical.
Damn. Okay. Ruth has her hands on her hips as she's looking at you, thinking long and hard. Is this kid in some kind of trouble?
No, I just want to ask a couple of questions. Like I said, person of interest, and just Echo twitches for a moment. Ro might pick up on it, reaches into the jacket, pulls out one of those old business cards that they've got, and hands it over. You know, business card for the Buzz Bulletin. Now defunct.
Ruth takes it, looks it over.
I'm a reporter. I'm working on a story. I can't go too much into detail, but like I said, person of interest on a case I'm working on, and I would very much appreciate any help you might be able to give.
Ruth frowns, looking it over.
You don't tell anyone it's me.
My lips are sealed.
Good.
Believe me, my lips are
Also,
sealed.
don't give this poor girl a hard time. If I might not know who she is, but kids these days have it hard enough as it is. All right, come on, follow me, you two. She says as she starts to wobble. It looks like she has either a bad hip or a bad knee as she's walking.
And Echo will follow.
It takes a bit. Ruth waves at a few people, scolds some of the young security officers who appear to be starting to fall asleep before reminding them that she just brewed a fresh pot of coffee in the break room. Smiles at some of the younger check-in people who are there, also half asleep. Just genuinely seems to be either the employee mom or the employee grandma as she is hobbling towards a security room. She swipes her badge, puts in a code which she keeps well covered as she opens the door.
And Echo will follow.
Ro is also following. Ruth sits down at the desk of the security office. She fishes out a pair of very thick glasses as she puts them on.
All right, you said this was on last Thursday at roughly 5?
5 or 6. Somewhere's around there. Probably closer to 5.
Ro pipes up. It would have been like maybe right before sunrise. I remember because it was still fairly dark, but there was like some light. Okay, well that narrows it down a bit. She says, typing in a few things, and you said it was at gate E?
Yeah, that column we were standing by.
All right. She types in a few things, and the image of the young woman appears. Same as in your vision.
Echo takes out the phone, snaps a quick picture, like a quick photo with the phone. Can you show us where she went?
I can try. She starts to input a few things. Pauses as she looks at the person before typing in something else and sees it looks like she got on one of the early city buses.
What was the bus route?
Looks like it heads back down to the station. She pauses again, looking at it. Wait a second, I made that sweater.
You?
Well, yeah, sometimes there's not a lot to do, so I knit some things. Oh, this must be that little girl that... that Malik was telling me about. The one that's been on the street for a bit.
Tell me about that.
Well, I don't know much about her. I heard Malik rapping. He's a big grump, but he has a heart of gold. Said that she's been hanging around here, found her digging through the trash looking for some food. Apparently she looked cold because of that winter snap we had that cold snap we had. She wasn't taking handouts, but apparently asked me to knit her sweater. And I did, because poor girl. And apparently, according to him, he just threw it at her and told her to get out. Nice to see she's wearing it.
When was the last time she was here?
Malik hasn't mentioned her in a couple of days, but then again, he usually keeps that kind of thing close to his chest. He's gonna be here at the shift change at 5 if you want to talk to him. He probably knows. I think, what was her name? Kathy? Carrie? Something with a C or a K.
Ro leans over to you, says, that might be a bit too late for us.
Echo nods. I'm aware.
I mean, if she's a person of interest, I can try calling him.
It's only 4. It's 3:30, so it's usually up by now.
Yeah, give him a call. It'd be great. I appreciate it.
All right, I'll put him on speaker. She reaches over, puts in a phone number. It rings a few times before a voice picks up, sounding dead tired and done with the world, and just says, "This had better be fucking good, Ruth."
Oh, Malik, honey, I know you're up. You're a night owl. And I work the day shift. Your point? Listen, I got some reporters here asking some questions about that girl you were talking about.
There's a long pause. What about them?
Sorry for the late night call. I'm curious to know when you saw her around the airport last.
Which one?
And I will describe, again, the girl.
Why do you want to know about them?
I'm simply writing a story, following a lead, and I would like to ask her some questions. She's not in trouble. She won't know. Nobody will know where I got the information from to track her down. I keep my sources confidential. But if you need to verify who I am, my name's Echo, and I work for Buzz Bulletin. You can give them a call, ask for Eric, and he will confirm that I work for him. He'll also tell you that I am on assignment for him.
There is a long pause. Can you tell me what this is about, at least? Because I'm not going to just tell you where you can find them.
Like I said, I'm writing a story, following up on a lead. She happens to be a person of interest, and it's...
He suddenly cuts you off.
They? My apologies. I was unaware. I have very little information to go on here, and I'm like grabbing at straws. And I would very much appreciate any possible help you could give.
There's another long pause. Listen, I don't know about this. They have been through enough as it is.
I'm not here to hurt.
I don't need some reporter poking at them.
I'm not here to hurt them. I'm not here to harm them. Nobody will know I talked to them. As a queer journalist, which I'm sure you can appreciate in this world, it isn't always looked fondly upon. I have a certain ethical code to follow, yeah?
Roll me a persuasion charisma roll, please.
Charisma is 3. Persuasion is 2. Don't fucking let me down. Three.
Ruth, can you verify who this person is? I got their business card right here.
I'll give you Eric's personal cell phone number if you want. You can call him. He can verify everything. All I'm asking for is
Give me the...
Sorry, go ahead.
I won't give you all the information until I have it verified myself, but I can at least give you a name.
I appreciate that. I will also leave my number behind so you can get in touch with me. I'll leave my email, whatever you need.
Okay. They go by the name Corey, C-O-R capital E.
And do you know when was the last time you saw them around here?
I saw them. He pauses to think it over. 2 days ago. Came by. They usually try to find like some sort of work they can do around here to get a few bits of change or get a meal from like people. Just so you know, I don't think you can, he pauses, legally interview them.
Are they underage?
He pauses for a long time. They just turned 17 last month.
Can't interview without parental consent. Unless they've been
Yeah, good luck with
emancipated.
that.
Unless they've been emancipated. Why do you say that?
He starts muttering under his breath, like, basically shouldn't have said that. They're in the system.
So in that case, legal guardian would apply.
Ruth speaks up. Well, wait a second. Why would a legal guardian let a poor little girl trifle through trash to find food?
In my experience, the system doesn't always protect those it was set up to look after. It's not always the kindest. And some people have a really hard go. Some people are left to their own devices. And it is disappointing and heartbreaking.
Malik, if she keeps coming here, you do know we're supposed to inform authorities. Sorry. We're supposed to inform authorities if they keep coming here. They're not doing any harm. They don't enter the airport. They just
I'll tell you what.
looking for food, shelter, or something.
I'll tell you what. I'll do you a solid. Help you guys get rid of legal issues you might be having. Next time they show up, Echo reaches into the jacket. Hand them this card. Tell them to get in touch with me, and I'm willing to offer a hot meal. Paid for out of my own pocket. They can choose where. They can choose when. All I want to do is talk.
Ruth takes the card. Malik still stays silent on the phone.
In any case, I do appreciate your help. You've given me some avenues I can follow. And I will let you guys get back to it.
Malik speaks up again. You don't mean them any harm?
None whatsoever.
If I found out anything happened to them, I'm coming after your ass.
I would expect nothing less. You seem pretty protective, honestly.
Us system kids have to look out for one another.
Understood.
They... can't believe I'm doing this. Last I heard, they had a setup near the bridge about 20 blocks away from the airport.
Thank you.
Yeah. I'm gonna check up on them.
Absolutely.
Okay. Ruth, I'll see you in like an hour and a half for my shift. Okay, Malik, you have it. You hear it hang up. That boy. Ruth looks at you. Well, looks like you gotta find your person? Child.
Person would be acceptable.
Okay, you gotta find. I'm sorry, I'm still learning about this.
You're fine. I appreciate the effort.
Okay, you got.
That being said, I've got to go find them. I've got to go see if I can talk to them for a moment.
You wait 1 second. You stay right there.
She says as she suddenly gets up, walks towards a locker, rummages through it. Ah, there it is. She picks up what looks to be a thick wool blanket that looks like it was just finished since there's still some ends coming out of it.
Mm-hmm.
Hands it to you. It's going to be cold the next few nights. You give this to them. You give this to them in case they need something.
Can do. And Echo will take it, drape it over an arm.
It's very soft. Very soft. Good. Now,
you were going to say.
Be careful.
Always.
I think I know the area Malik was talking about. It's not a dangerous area, but there are a few people who, the less fortunate, often hang out there. And it's not safe for a young person to be around that area this late at night, even if they are looking shelter there.
I appreciate the heads up. We'll be fine.
Okay.
Good. Well, I'm going to lead you out back to your little mystery machine, which can I say my grandkids would love that so much.
Yeah, that's her thing. Glad you approved, though.
Excellent. And she leads you out to the mystery machine. Charlie's actually chatting with one of them. And he's just like, yeah, I'm sorry. I don't think she'd go for it. He's like, seriously? I'm like, listen, you can shoot your shot. I don't think it's gonna work. Shoot your shot with what? Ro calls. Security guard tenses up. Ro tilts her head. Dinner? Oh, no, thank you. I just ate, she says as she hops into the van.
Good talk, he says.
Have a good night, guys. And he, kind of walks away dejected.
Echo turns just over their head over their shoulder for a sec and calls back, "Don't take it personally."
Ro looks at you. What?
He was asking you on a date, honey.
Blinks.
What?
He wanted to know if you wanted to go on a date. That's how that works.
Well, that's silly. That wasn't even a full sentence.
It is, but you have to understand the context behind the way he said it. Language is weird. Trust me.
Charlie is trying very hard not to laugh.
Either way, let's go. We've got places to be, and, night's burning?
We got about, Charlie looks at his watch, less than 2 hours before the sun rises.
Well, I've got a spot we can go. A spot we can check out, at least.
Okay.
I've got an image.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna go see if we can find this individual.
Okay, then. He starts the car and goes towards the area.
It is a large bridge, and you see off to the side, the bridge is wide enough, the underpasses anyway, that there is what looks to be a small encampment of some makeshift tents, lean-tos. There's actually a barrel that is burning some fire, and there are some individuals that are close by it rubbing their hands together to stay warm on this rather brisk night.
Echo's going to climb out of the van. Oh, I can go about this a couple of different ways. How do I approach this?
The choice is yours.
Echo will hop out of the van, walk over
Mhm.
to the barrel, just kind of hold their hands up next to it, warming up a little bit.
There's currently 2 people by the barrel. It looks to be a middle-aged woman with a man in his mid-20s. They look at you, raised eyebrows, since they just saw you hop out of a van. Ro has stayed behind because she realizes, oh dang, more mortals. No thanks, I stay here.
What a night, huh?
You can say that, yes.
I mean, could be worse. Could be snowing. Or, torrential downpour.
The man, oh, don't say that. Now there's going to be like a downpour later today. Oh, no, there isn't. Just because they say that doesn't mean it's going to happen, the woman says playfully, just shaking her head.
I'm wondering if you might be able to help me. Echo kind of trails
Bit late
off.
in the evening. Bit late in the evening to be asking that.
Yeah.
The man says. The man pipes up. If you're looking for manual labor, you'll have more luck near the Home Depot.
Not looking for manual labor. Looking for somebody who might have run into a bit of trouble. Somebody who needs a bit of extra kick in their corner.
Can you be more specific? Because you just described 95% of the people here.
I'm well aware. I'm looking to talk to Corey, if they are around.
The man tilts his head, looking confused. The woman tenses up slightly.
I'm not here to cause any harm.
Did those foster parents of them there send you?
No, but from what I've heard, they're not exactly people that are... how do I put this nicely? They're not exactly people I'd like.
The woman turns to the side and spits.
Yeah, that pretty much sums it up.
The man looks confused, like, wait, is that like Karina? Their name, the woman says, is Corey? They're sleeping.
Is it possible?
They have school in the morning. How important is this?
For Corey? Probably not. For me? Kinda. I guess it depends on which side of the fence you're looking at things from. It's all about perspective these days, isn't it?
What's in it for them?
I don't have much, but I can toss them a little bit of cash and give them a hot meal.
The man perks up at the mention of a hot meal, and the woman, without looking away from me, just smacks him on the chest like, your name's not Corey. Sit down. Looks at you again. Thinks it over. Is giving you a long, hard look. They are a sweet child.
And I might be able to help them get off the street.
At the mention of that, her lips tighten slightly. I'm going to stay with you while you talk to them. Follow me.
That's fine. Thank you. And Echo will follow.
The woman takes you to
the back, you actually see an individual who is currently looks to be in a very, very light sleep, clutching a backpack close to their chest as their knees are close to their body, huddling together for warmth. They have what looks to be a ratty old canvas tarp over their shoulders, black beanie pulled as far down as it can over their ears, just nodding off slightly. The woman very carefully kneels down, gently taps them on the shoulder like, Corey dear.
Echo's going to stand actually a few steps behind this individual. Like a
Corey
respectable distance.
The person, Corey, lets out a soft groan. What is it, Marisol? Is it time for school? Not yet, dear. I'm sorry to wake you. There's someone here who has some questions for you, and they said they'll do it. If you answer them, they'll give you some cash and a hot meal. Corey groans, slowly lifts her head to look at you. Now that you actually can look at her in the flesh, you see she does seem to be a bit more on the thinner side. Doesn't look like she's had a chance to bathe in about a couple of days. Just blinks several times. What? Are you up for some questions here? I guess. She looks over. They look over at you, somewhat confused.
So first, thank you for seeing me. I appreciate it. Echo will reach in, grab the 20 from the rapidly dwindling stash of
Yeah,
cash.
you're gonna need to do something about that.
Yeah, I am. From the rapidly dwindling stash of cash, and just kind of pass it on over. This is for seeing me, hearing me out, listening to me.
Corey looks between you, the $20 bill, back at you, slowly reaches out as if afraid you're gonna take your hand away, and quickly snatches it and holds it close to their chest.
No strings attached. Not when it's me.
Okay.
There was a night last week. You were out at the airport.
She tenses up noticeably.
I'm not here to.
Just-
I'm not here to judge. Okay. I'm not here to hurt. I'm not here to anything like that. Why take the photo?
She looks around nervously and actually spots the van, and her face pales
Look,
noticeably.
we don't mean you any harm. Okay? I'm just looking for information. Let's just say I'm following my nose, so to speak. You seem to be somebody who was in it for the cash, which means there's no ill will. You were in it to make sure that you were looking out for you and your survival, yes? You did it because you got paid? Why take the photo? Who was it?
She looks around nervously. The woman, Marisol, gently rubs her back like, it's okay. I'm here. Nothing bad's gonna happen to you. I was paid.
By who?
Like $100. I don't know their name. There was some older guy. She's still eyeing the van nervously. She actually spots Ro, who sees them looking at her, and she smiles and like waves, and Corey has a much guiltier look on their face as she murmurs softly, they paid me $100 and said that they needed me to take some photos of her, they couldn't go near the airport. Apparently, they got like in trouble, and anytime they try to get near it, they get chased off by security.
Okay. Do you remember what the guy?
I didn't mean any harm. I
know
didn't
you
mean any
didn't.
harm.
I know you didn't. You're in a tough spot. You need cash. You gotta like look out for yourself. You gotta eat somehow. It's kind of a shitty way to live. No offense.
Marisol speaks. None taken.
And a kid like you doesn't deserve to be here. I'm assuming your parents aren't all that understanding, huh?
Car accident when I was 5. They died, and I've been bouncing around this foster system ever since.
No stability. That's gonna be rough.
I'm just trying to survive.
Yeah, we all are. I get it. Do you remember what the guy looked like?
I think he was one of us. Like, not from this group, but like, he smelled bad. Old guy, long beard, shabby clothes. Had a gnarly scar across his face. Looks like he got in a knife fight.
So it's the guy that's been stalking me. Echo, like, says this out loud.
I didn't mean to help with that. I was just asked to take some photos.
I know. I don't judge. Unfortunately, he chose the wrong target, because I can be pretty good at what I do for work. Now for the second part of what I wanted to talk to you about. Because I found out you've had a bit of a rough go, and if you're in school, this isn't really a place for somebody to be while they're in school. Foster parents.
I get by.
Yeah, I can see that. But stability can generally work wonders for somebody's A, mental health, and B, ability to study, especially when you've got a full stomach.
I don't take handouts.
Not a handout.
Marisol lets out a long sigh, pinches the bridge of her nose. Corey, I swear to God.
Echo looks over at the older woman, and then back at the man.
She's still in high school. No, sorry, they're still in high school. You don't need to give them my friggin' backstory, Marisol. You are in high school.
Yep.
She's trying to become a sorry, I know, Marisol, it's fine. It's not fine. Give me a second. It's late. And Marisol just sighs. They are working on getting scholarships to go to college to study. What was it? Corey is quiet for a second before muttering softly, photography.
Photography? Huh, that's a talent. Do you still have your camera?
Oh, yes. She pauses and, like, slowly opens her bag. She doesn't take out the camera from before. She actually takes out an old Polaroid camera.
That all you got?
It was my dad's.
What about that fancy camera you were using the other night? Was that on loan, or was that yours?
Oh, that wasn't mine. It was the old dude's. He said he'd give me $100. Well, actually, the deal was he'd give me 50, but if I returned with good enough photos and made sure that the camera was returned in the same condition, he'd give me 100. So I have this, and sometimes the high school has cameras that I can loan out and stuff for like my more interesting projects, but she gently strokes the Polaroid camera. This is my main one.
Well, that's not going to do for a photographer. Not if you want to be great at it. Great for practice, but can't really give you the control you need. You want to learn how to use one properly?
I mean, yeah, but they cost a couple $100, and most of the money I get goes towards bus passes and food.
What if you had a roof over your head?
They blink. What?
What if you had a roof over your head?
What's in it for you? They suddenly have a somewhat defiant look on their face as they lean back.
I get a photographer out of it.
Who are you exactly?
You can call me Echo.
Okay.
I'm trying to start a thing here. Putting together a crew. Working towards...
I would just take photos?
You would. And practice what you love. Do what you want to do. Matter of fact, I will give you my old model. Yours, no strings attached.
They perk up slightly.
I recently upgraded, I think it was last year? Saw fit to keep the old one. Do you know how to fix them?
They nod their head. Very interested now.
Needs a bit of a tune-up. A little bit of spit and polish, but I'm sure she'll work just as fine.
Corey glances towards the van. Is she mad?
No, not at all. We're just following the leads. This guy seems to leave a trail a mile wide that I can follow. No offense, he's not exactly all that subtle.
They pause, thinking over. Talked weird.
How so?
No inflection.
No.
Kind of like those really boring lecturers.
Interesting.
Wouldn't give me a name either.
Of course he wouldn't. That'd just be way too easy if somebody caught you, right? Especially the wrong person.
That's why I usually went there around 5. They pause. There's a guard there that kind of takes pity on me and will throw me some extra money or a sandwich. Well.
Oh yeah, Echo turns around for a second, calls out, Ro, do you want to grab the blanket?
Ro instantly perks up, grabs the blanket, hops out, skips over.
This was meant to be a gift for you, apparently.
Corey looks at it, slowly takes the blanket, holds it close, realizing how soft it is.
How long you been sleeping out here, outside of your foster parents' house, kid?
Officially? Officially, it's been 3 months.
Unofficially?
A year.
So they don't give two shits that you're not there.
I I'd go there during inspection days, and they would throw me a 20 and let me be on my way. They kept calling me Karina and telling me I needed to grow out my hair and shit.
Yes, gender essentialists. They churchgoers?
No, that's the worst part. They don't. They're atheists. They just don't believe in gender identity.
So,
I say officially 3 months ago because I might have had enough and threw a rather heavy vase at one of their heads. And then I ran.
So, here's what I'm doing. Like I said, I'm putting together a crew. It's not going to be easy. It's not going to be simple. I need networks set up. I need resources set up. And we need streams of income in order to keep us functioning. But I'm gathering together a bunch of people who've had kind of shitty luck, been looked down on, people who know what they're doing, knowing what they're talking about, people who have ability to see beyond just the norm, you know, people who don't really fall for societal bullshit. You fit that bill as far as I'm concerned. If you're willing, I've got a roof. Once we get our sources of income set up, we can fill the cupboards. You'll have food, hot meal. Come and go as you please, so long as tasks are done. You can express yourself however you want. I don't give two shits about that. But we're gonna build. We're gonna attempt to better the lives of those around us. With one singular goal. Always seeking out the truth.
That being?
Telling a story. And yeah, Neka reaches into the pocket, pulls out a business card, and hands it over.
They take it, look at it. Echo Vision?
Yeah, I think it needs work, but it's the best I had at the time. I want to show the underbelly. The gritty. I want to show. I want to take a spotlight and I want to shine it on those patches of darkness that people tend to look away from. The creepy, the weird, the unsuspecting. And I want to grow. In the meantime, you say yes. I have one requirement of you.
Here it is.
You graduate.
What?
You graduate.
They look at you suddenly very confused, clearly not expecting that.
You graduate. School is your main priority. You do that. You do good. And I'll give you a place to stay.
Charisma persuasion roll.
Ah, fuck. Charisma is 3. Persuasion is 2, plus a hunger dice. Well, with a hunger dice. That's a 2.
They seem very unsure about this. An expression on their face that clearly says This sounds way too good to be true.
I mean, you're welcome to say no. The choice is yours. I just figured you'd like some place that you can actually, like, not have to worry about things. I know what that's like.
Corey gently grips their backpack close to them.
And I have a very specific set of skills that can help keep you safe. You won't have to worry about that old man anymore.
I haven't seen them since last week.
And I might be willing to sweeten the pot a little bit. Because you seem fairly attached to these two here. What are your... Echo turns to the older woman. What are your skills? What do you do?
Corey speaks up. Oh, I've known Marisol for a while. I don't know that dude. He just kind of came by 2 weeks ago.
She does.
Marisol sighs. I cook, I clean, I keep organized. She was a manager at a hotel for a bit.
I'll let her come along.
Marisol, there's no need for that. If you can just get them... I'll go.
Okay.
Marisol, Corey suddenly says.
I need a house manager. Somebody who's good at keeping people in line, somebody who's good at keeping things where they ought to be, and somebody who can manage a household full of people.
Listen, I appreciate that, but instantly Corey says, I'll go if she goes. Corey? Corey's just looking straight at you.
It's your call.
Marisol sighs, pinching the bridge of her nose. You're going to be the death of me, you know. Corey just actually smiles slightly. Marisol sighs. Let me get my things.
Both of you.
This is all I have, Corey says, just like holding her backpack. It's like one of those old school backpacks that clearly looks like it's on its last leg.
Then grab it and let's go. Let's get you out of here.
Okay. Marisol appears with a similar duffel bag, and Ro opens the van door. Welcome! Corey suddenly says, actually, this is starting to feel like every single bad idea that a white girl would do in a horror film. Well, it's a good thing I'm not white and you're not a girl, Marisol says as she gets into the van. That's not how it works, Corey says, but rather reluctantly gets into the van. Ro looks at you. You went from 2 strays to 5.
Sure did. I told you I was going to try changing the world. This is how we start.
You're going to run out of room in your apartment.
Yeah, we're in the process of fixing that. That building's going to be ours. I got a feeling about this.
Okay. Rose says as she gets into the van as well. Do you get into the back with Marisol and Corey?
I sure do. Pull out my phone. Send a text to Rhonda and Chris.
Mm-hmm.
Coming back.
What does it say?
Coming back. We need to have a meeting. Or we need to have a talk. Nothing bad, but we need to have a talk. Make sure you're in the living room when I get there.
A few moments later,
Rhonda sends a thumbs up emoji. Chris also sends up a thumbs up emoji and also puts, I ordered pizza if you want any.
I can't have any, but save a couple of slices. We got house guests.
Okay. He sends the saluting emoji, like, and then, yes, boss.
I will be right back.
You do what you gotta do, chat. In the meantime, I quickly pulled up a picture of Marisol, who does not have an R at the beginning of her name, but does have an R in her name. They let me. There we go. Sending. That is Marisol.
I'm back.
Second, I am just putting something up. Why are you being a little bitch? Discord. Stop it. Stop it right now.
I feel like I'm actually getting somewhere.
Alright, if you look in the slide chat, you will see a beautiful picture of a middle-aged Hispanic woman. That is Marisol.
Yep. I see it.
Excellent. The drive back to your apartment is beginning to cut it a little bit close. It is roughly less than an hour before sunrise when you pull up to the what I affectionately call the Bundy bungalow, even though it's not a bungalow, and I actually have a photo of it.
Love it.
Because this gave me inspiration.
I love it.
Soon as 1 second. Stop it. Stop. Of course it's being a little bitch right now. Just let me, there we go. You listen here, you.
Waiting.
Waiting. There we go. That is what the apartment building looks like.
Okay.
Very old-fashioned. The paint looks like it needs to be redone a bit.
Yep.
Definitely one of those old houses that got converted into apartment buildings, possibly early 1920s.
Mm-hmm.
As you pull up, the lights are still very much not working.
I mean, electrician hasn't been called yet.
No, it has not. Currently, as you walk up there to your apartment complex with Ro, Charlie, Corey, and Marisol following closely behind, you enter, you see that Chris has found a few candles and has lit them. And Candy is currently sitting very poised in a chair, back straight, as Chris is just nomming on a pizza, looks over. That's a lot more people than what you left with.
Sure is. Come on in, have a seat. There's room for everyone. Echo looks over at Marisol
They
and
do so.
Corey. Grab a slice of pizza.
Marisol gives a small smile and says thank you as Corey instantly grabs a slice of pizza and begins to eat it, with Marisol scolding them slightly back. Slowly, you know what happens when you eat too fast.
So, here's where things get weird. You guys are about to be inducted into a world wherein your life is about to change.
Oh god.
And we're building...
Corey speaks. Is this a cult?
I mean, it wasn't, but if you want to consider it that, I suppose. You are looking at what I'm hoping is the founding members of Echovision. Officially. As an organization. We are a publication designed, well, I want to, again, shine a light on the creepy, the dark, the unknown, the seedy, the unseen, that sort of thing. Dig into the mysteries of the world. With the focus of getting to the truth, getting to the bottom of things. I need people that know what they're doing. I need somebody to manage the household affairs. I need somebody to manage the building. Echo mentions looking at Marisol and Rhonda. I need writers. Echo looks at Chris. I need photographers. Echo looks at Corey. We're about to we are about to undertake an adventure, the likes of which you have only ever dreamed of. But there are things that you are going to see, most likely, that are going to make you question the very existence of everything you believe. Echo looks over at Candy. First thing tomorrow morning after the electrician's called, you need to go grocery shopping and you need to stock our cupboards with food suitable for people of all sorts. And you're going to use your debit card to do it.
Very well.
Good. I want the cupboards and the fridge completely stocked.
Yes.
And then Echo turns back to the rest of the group. 2 of you here have already been officially inducted. Two of you have not. And I need to know if you wish to go down this rabbit hole. Officially.
Corey looks at you.
Because the next part of what I'm going to ask you to do is going to weird you out.
Corey is currently looking between you and Candy, eyes lingering on Candy for a few moments, looking back at you. If I say no, does your offer get ended?
No, but you also can't talk of anything in this apartment to anyone outside. At all.
I mean, who would... I don't know what's happening, but I mean, who is... Marisol speaks. I understand confidentiality.
Good. Do you two want to go down the rabbit hole?
Ro suddenly, drapes over you
arms across your shoulders as she whispers very, very softly to you, where only supernatural ears can hear.
If you're gonna do what I think you're gonna do, I would suggest waiting until this little one is a little. Otherwise, you're stuck with that forever.
Echo
Just
says,
a thought.
Echo says nothing.
Marisol speaks again. So long as the roof's over my head with food and I can be of use, I will stick around. And to keep an eye on this one, she says, looking at Corey, who is still looking at Candy with a confused expression on her face. For they say, I'll do what I can.
Good. You have a place to stay with food. Like I said, my only requirement is that you pass school, that you graduate.
Okay.
Echo walks over to Marisol, sits down in front of her. And flashes a fanged grin.
She tenses up noticeably and gently grips Corey's arm, but stays where she is.
You are fine. Okay? Nothing has changed, except your perception of me.
Corey, she suddenly speaks, maybe you should go use the bathroom. What? No,
Corey,
trust me.
Echo turns their head towards Corey.
Hmm?
And flashes a fanged grin.
Okay.
Welcome to the rabbit hole.
Marisol lets out a long, long sigh, pinches the bridge of her nose. I thought I was done with this shit.
Do tell.
She looks at Corey, looks back at you. You're not giving her any until she is of age.
I am fully aware.
Corey looks very confused.
You know what I am. And you know what I'm
Yep.
asking.
Yes.
How? Come on, I've got all the time in the world. Well, I've got about an hour, but when I wake up tonight, we should be fine.
She glances at Ro, who also flashes her a bright grin, sees the fangs. I used to belong to someone once upon a time.
Ah, so... how long ago?
5 years ago. I was with them for 20 years.
You know the benefits.
I do. I also know that if we displease you, those benefits get swiftly and abruptly taken away.
Not with me. I can't work with you unless you work with me. I need people. I'm, unlike most of us, looking at a partnership. I'm just a little different than you. I'm not so far removed from my humanity yet that it changes. And I'm willing to take you guys along for the ride.
She glances at Corey again before glancing back at you.
The choice is yours, and you have my word that Corey will learn and not be part of until that point.
I will hold you to that.
Understood.
No more than 1 ounce.
2.
Corey just looks so confused right now. Ounces? Don't worry about it, Marisol says, still looking straight at you. Fine.
The only... Good. Echo just, like, cuts off. And a moment later, bites into their wrist. I'll explain in a minute.
Corey is looking noticeably freaked out, and Marisol just gently grabs her shoulder and forces her to sit down. Forces them to sit down.
And Echo holds their wrist up to Marisol.
Here, I thought I was done with this. She says as she takes your wrist and brings it to her lip. 1 gulp, 2 gulps.
And Echo pulls the wrist away.
Forcing away.
Closes the wound.
She gently licks her lips, brushing a small drop of it off of her lower lip.
A choice willingly made, yes?
Yes.
Good.
Do I have to do that? Corey says.
Nope, not yet.
I think that's unhygienic, Marisol. For them, not really. They don't have blood diseases. I will explain in the morning. It's morning now. Actually, no. I will explain to you after school, she says, looking at Corey.
You know what? I'm just gonna rip the Band-Aid off. I ain't human.
You really don't care about the masquerade, do you? Marisol says, looking straight at you.
Not 2 shits.
Oh, you're going to piss off so many of them.
Yeah, probably. But we're building something here. And people here have been expressly told not to talk about what's talked about inside this apartment. It's why I don't mention it outside.
That explains her, she says, looking at Candy.
She took away somebody else's choice and free will. I simply returned the favor.
I see.
She tried to drug somebody without their knowing. That does not fly. As a matter of fact, it was Rhonda here.
Does she feel bad about it?
She has no love for Rhonda, not in the way a mother should. I decided to hand out justice as I saw fit, in the only way I knew how. Echo looks over at Corey. You have an obligation to fulfill. You'll have everything you need here to exist and survive.
Okay.
Over the next year, you are going to do some thinking. Anything that goes on inside this apartment doesn't get talked about. But you're going to have to do some thinking. If you want to join us, or not. Once you turn 18, we're going to have a talk. If you agree, you will be considered mine. Not in that way. It's...
Okay.
If not, you'll be free to do as you wish. You are going to see things that are going to make you question everything you believe in, and your sanity to some degree. And the only way I will do to you what I did to Marisol is if you are on death's door. Life preservation only.
What, are you going to show me El Chupacabra? Ro actually pipes up. Actually! Charlie, before she can, go full rant, puts
hand over her mouth. We're too close to sunrise for that shit right now.
I'm going to give you the day to think about this. Once again, the choice is yours. I'm going to be going to sleep soon. I can't help it. Kind of happens when the sun breaches the horizon. If I wake up and you're not here, I will assume that you decided that this was all too much, and you decided to make your own way. If you are here when I wake up, I will assume you have decided to stay. But first, I'm going to give you something to think about. Candy, your wrist.
Candy raises her wrist.
Echo will bite into it and stare directly at Corey.
Corey kind of leans into Marisol a bit. Marisol seems completely unfazed by this.
And then Echo pulls back, seals the wound. Do you understand? You don't talk to anyone about this.
I won't. She looks at
unless they're in this room, and you
Candy.
don't talk about this in public.
She looks at Candy. Are you okay? I'm fine.
Candy took somebody's free will. Candy had her free will stripped.
Corey is still looking at Candy with... It looks like she's trying to figure something out.
Quickly, before I go to bed, what's on your mind?
It might just be me over imagining it, but... Corey pauses. She's kind of talking like the old man.
Now that's a piece of information I can use. Because
What, the fact they have a similar speech pattern?
that means the old man's been ghouled.
Or, Marisol pipes up, he could just have a similar speech pattern. Not all ghouls like... Freshly made ghouls like her, she says, tilting her head to Candy, are bad at disguising it. But yes, it is a possibility. Corey speaks up, did I help?
You did. Now, if you'll excuse
A small
me.
smile comes.
Pardon?
A small smile comes to Corey's face as they hear they did actually help.
Echo looks over at Candy. Oh, and another thing. You have resources. We're going to tap into those for the moment
Yes.
till we can get set up.
Very well.
Again, you stock the kitchen. You make sure these individuals have something to sleep on. Cot or an air mattress or something until we can get actual beds.
Corey pipes up, Can we get some new underwear? Socks?
Yeah, sure.
Candy nods. I'll do it first thing in the morning.
Good. I expect to hear a report from the electrician when I wake up, too.
Very well.
Now, if you'll excuse me, I need to go get some shut-eye, and believe me when I tell you, I don't wake up during the day.
Ro raises a hand. Can we have a sleepover?
Yeah, I'm not going to send you guys out right now. It's too close to dawn.
Yay! She, hops. She skips straight to your room. Not a care in the world.
I'll see you this evening.
And as you enter your bedroom, closing the door as the sun slowly rises over the horizon, that is where we're going to call tonight's